Jeepers creepers, that's so big for you.
Hi, my name's Sara and I'm an artist, architectural designer, wife, and mom to 2 little girls. Recently, my husband and I just purchased a 1916 brick bungalow house, and we are in the process of renovating the entire thing. In addition, I quit my 9-to-5 job so I can stay home with my 2 daughters and homeschool them. For me, it's all about having the freedom to raise my family how I see fit and to pursue the career that I've always wanted in the way that I want to pursue it and not how other people want me to pursue it. So, on this video today, you are going to see me talking all about our landscape. Now that I've officially shown myself actually speaking to the camera, as awkward as I am, let me talk to you a little bit about what's been happening with our landscape design thus far with our new house. We purchased the house a year ago, last spring in April of 2025, and have been slowly renovating the property ever since. Mainly gutting the basement. This is a room that almost looks like something, but I think we're going to change it again. I'm not sure I'm actually loving the limewashed brick. Now, with spring past and it being just the start of summer, we have been putting off working on our landscape for too long and needed to finally make some progress on it. Typically, I probably wouldn't have worried too much about the landscape portion of this house. However, we didn't realize what we were in for landscape-wise when we purchased it. With the exception of a few select drought-tolerant plants that I had bought and planted to see if I could actually keep them alive, the only thing my husband and I did with the yard was trying to keep the weeds at bay. After speaking with the neighbors, apparently our yard in particular has been notorious over the years for being a complete disaster, with weeds being over 4 feet tall and blocking the sidewalks at some points. They said that it was so bad at one point, the neighbors had to call the city and complain about the previous owners to remove the weeds. So yeah, we definitely got lucky with the lawn on this house. Anyway, last summer, because the yard was such a mess, I planted about a third of our backyard with pumpkins to make a pumpkin patch. I'm a huge fan of the holidays, so planting these pumpkins was like a pre-game warm-up for me to the holiday season, which I personally believe starts around Halloween. Unfortunately, last year's pumpkin patch took a bit of a turn for the worst when we needed to get some clay sewage pipes replaced before we could start work on the basement. And, sure enough, some of those pipes were directly under my pumpkin patch. Let's just say the pumpkins took a hit, but at least by the end of the growing season we still had enough left to make it feel nice and cozy. Also, unfortunately, while they were digging an 8-foot trench in our backyard to reach the clay pipes, they also ripped up a bunch of pavers from our backyard patio. So, instead of paying them to quote-unquote fix it, I decided to work on it myself. this is the before landscape plan that I made of the exterior of our house. And here's the after. Basically, the plan is to add more grassy space to the backyard for the kids to play, a few paths to walk from the street and onto the sidewalk, and add grass and wildflowers to the front yard. The grass and wildflowers are all drought-tolerant plants and are supposed to help cut down on the maintenance of the lawn, both by reducing the amount of water we're using and also to compete with the weeds for sunlight to hopefully help snuff them out. Now, because I love pumpkin patches so much, I was completely devastated by what happened to last year's patch. So, we decided to hold off on planting grass on most of the south side of the house and planted pumpkins there instead. Will they grow out of control and block the sidewalk? I hope not. Will people take them? I like to think that they won't. But we do have a lot of kids in the neighborhood, and I think it would be cool for them to pick one once fall comes around. And this is our neighborhood plant nursery. We try not to come here too often, honestly, because I'll quickly load up the credit card with things that we quote-unquote need. One type of flower I always make sure to get is red geraniums. My mom always planted them every summer, therefore, so do I. They're also pretty easy to take care of, and they'll look nice and poppy on our front porch. Now that we've created a new foundation for our landscape design, I'm really hoping that they've grown well and are blooming by the end of the summer, especially because we recently had a hailstorm a little over a week ago, right when we had started the seeding of our yard, and I was pretty worried about it damaging the plants. Luckily, as it turned out, the plants seemed okay. It was just our roof and cars that suffered. Speaking of which, the exterior of our house needs some work as well, including fixing the porch beams, some mortar in the bricks, and repainting everything that's currently white. If I can, I'd love to be able to get a few good pictures of the front of the house with the flowers blooming. We're hoping to sell the house by next spring, but we'll see how that timeline goes. We really love this house and neighborhood, but we've had a lot of new changes in our lives happen recently, and we're looking forward to moving back to the East Coast when we can. But until then, we're really loving living in this house. It feels like home, and I'll always be thankful for it, no matter how long we stay. Anyway, so there you have it, the entire story of our whole landscaping experience so far with this house. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you like the video, I would appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up and subscribe, because I will be doing a lot more videos regarding the renovation of this house, as well as a bunch of art videos where I'm painting a lot. Maybe I'll be doing some drawings in there, kind of seeing how it goes. The whole channel is kind of just about me pursuing a creative lifestyle overall that I've always wanted. Anyway, thanks so much for sticking around, and I will see you next time.